Hello students, so today we are starting with our first PHP class. In simple words, I will explain what is the PHP. PHP is a server-side scripting language used to create a website and store data. I will give you a simple example. Imagine you go to a shop and ask the shopkeeper, give me a chocolate. The shopkeeper, here the shopkeeper we treat it as a server. Shopkeeper understands your request, take out the chocolate and gives it to you. Similarly, when you write the PHP code and open it in browser, the server processes it and returns the output to us. So now we will start with the actual PHP definition. What is PHP? PHP is an open source, interpreted, and object oriented scripting language that can be executed at the server side. PHP is well suited for web development. Therefore, it is used to develop a web applications, an application that executes on the server and generates the dynamic web pages. The history of PHP. The PHP was created by Rasmus Lardorf in 1994 but appeared in the market in 1995. PHP 7.4.0 is the latest version of PHP which was released on 20th November. The full form of PHP is Hypertext Preprocessor. Is an HTML embedded server-side scripting language designed for web development. It is also used for the general purpose programming language. It was created by Rasmus Lardorf. PHP codes are simply mixed with the HTML code and can be used in combination with various web frameworks. Now I will show you the basic structure or the syntax of PHP. Now here I have opened the Sublime Text. As I told, the PHP code is embedded with the HTML tags. So first of all, we create the HTML structure. Here the title I will give as an example. I have created a PHP file as example.php. Here I have created a basic HTML structure and inside the body section I have written a small PHP code. The PHP syntax was simple that we have to use the greater than less than symbol question mark PHP. Inside that the echo is used to print the statement. In double quote I have written the hello world. Now we go to the browser and execute the code. I have saved this file inside the XAMPP under the htdocs and I have created a Janvi as a folder. Inside that I save my file. Now go to the XAMPP server and start the Apache server. Here the Apache, it has to show this green button. Next go to the any browser. Here I have already executed, but once again I will show it to you. Here write the localhost slash our folder name, next our file name example.php. Execute the code. Here we will get the output as hello world. Now we will change the text. Save this file and once again execute it. Here is our output. Now we will move to our next page. Here are some important points in PHP. The PHP stands for Hypertext Preprocessor. The PHP is an interpreted language. There is no need for the compilation. PHP is faster than other scripting language, for example ASP and JS. Next, the PHP is a server-side scripting language which is used to manage the dynamic content of website. The PHP can be embedded into the HTML. This I have already shown it to you. The PHP is an object-oriented language. The PHP is open source scripting language. PHP is a simple and easy to learn. These can be our features. Next, we will move to our next topic. Why use the PHP? Here, it handles the dynamic content database as well as the session tracking for the website. The dynamic content means the content on the web page changes based on the user input, database data or the other conditions. PHP helps to generate the dynamic content by processing the request and updating the web pages accordingly. Next, the database as well as the session tracking. A database in PHP is The database in PHP is used to store and retrieve, update, and delete the data dynamically. PHP connects to the database like MySQL using the extensions such as MySQL or PDO to manage the structured data efficiently. Next, the session tracking for the website. The session tracking in PHP is way to store the user-specific information across the multiple pages. It allows the web application to remember the user data, like the login status. Next, you can create the sessions in PHP. As I told, a session is a way to store user data on the server temporarily, allowing the data to persist across the multiple pages. Next, it can access the cookies, variables, and also set the cookies. The cookies in PHP is a small piece of data stored on the user's browser to remember the user preferences and the settings across the visits. Next, it helps to encrypt the data and apply the validation. The PHP can handle the forms such as collect the data from the user using the forms, save it into the database, and return the useful information to the user. For example, registration form. History of evolution of PHP. In 1994, Rasmus Lerdouf scripted a series of common gateway interfaces binaries in C to maintain his home page. Gradually, he improves this to include the ability to interact with the databases and the web forms and named it PHP or FI, meaning the personal home page or the form interpreter. The first version of PHP was released in 1995 with syntax variables and a form handling the resembling Perl language. The second version of PHP 2 was released in 1997. The team enlarged in 1997 to include the Ziv Surki and Andy Gutmans, who rescripted the parser to form the base of PHP 3 and renamed it PHP Hypertext Preprocessor. The, re- the rewriting work continued further and in 1999 it led to the development of Zend engine with served as an interpreter for PHP language. Over the years, the updating of language has continued and the latest version PHP 5.6.4 was released in December 2014. The PHP 6 was planned but never got released. Then the PHP 7 stable version was released in 2015. The most recent stable version is PHP 8 released in November 2022. Here we end up our first class. Thank you for watching.